Okay, so you've got your Facebook page set up, but you don't have any images for your ID photo or your header image. That's okay. If you can't afford to hire a designer who's going to build and create something really awesome for you, that's okay. I've got this video here today which is going to show you exactly how to do it using a free tool online that's available to everyone. So my name is Wade McMaster. I'm a web designer, blogger, internet marketer. I'm here to help you just get online and get yourself started so you can start making more money with your business. So the tool we're going to use is Canva. And to get to it, you simply have to go to www.canva.com, sign up, and it's totally free. So for now, we're just going to jump on the computer and we're going to have a look and get you started.
This service is very basic, easy to use. I don't use it that much because I'm actually a professional graphic designer and web designer, but it's sort of, with these videos, I want you to be able to do everything that you need to do if you don't have the budget for that yourself, so that way you actually have the tools at your disposal to create what you need to without hiring a designer. So while a simple made graphic and logo on Canva is going to match that of a professional design, it's a great way to get started if you're on a tight budget and you don't have the money to pay a designer, basically. So I'm going to start off and show you how to create a basic text logo that you can use, basically for your website and your Facebook page, that sort of thing. So it's pretty straightforward. You've got a whole bunch of options here to start off with to create a design. This is basically, once you log in, sign up, this is where you land, and you get a few options here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with, I'll just say something rectangular, because I want our logo to be rectangular. If you want to create a taller logo, I would choose something that's sort of taller in shape. If you want to create a square logo, create something that's sort of squarer in shape, that sort of thing. But I'm going to start off, I'm just going to go for the 16:9 presentation. We've got our little interface load up. As you can see, you've already got a bunch of pre-existing layouts that you can use if you want to do something else. This one, we're going to start off blank here. We're not going to actually use any sort of pre-existing layout. So now, while it may be hard to draw, you can still draw some basic bits and pieces. Like if you had a logo that you wanted to create out of some really basic shapes, you've got a few options here, like circles and that sort of thing. Like for example, we can pop a circle on there, resize it, pop a square, and you can then change the colors. You've got some colors up here in the top left. So if I want to change that gray to say a red, you choose a red. If you want to change the border color to say a green, that sort of thing, or an orange. So you can quite easily create very easy little logos and that sort of thing. Like I said, not the same as a professional designer, but it does get you started. And you can easily, with this video in particular, I'm going to focus on creating a text-based logo anyway. So a lot of the best brands out there do focus on text only as their logo. Some have emblems. There's not really it depends on what you're working on. But to start off with, I'll just delete this one again for a second, so I'll just trash that. So when we start off, we've got our blank canvas. We're going to come down the left here to text, click on that, and you'll see you've got a few options here. I'm just going to click add heading. So this is our beginner text. I'm going to start off, I've just got a random name I've come up with. I'm going to call it's called Flayed Industries. It's a bit of a joke between me and a few people I know. And I'm just going to type that out. First of all, I do want that to be a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this sort of roughly in center. As you'll see, if I move that, it snaps into the center, both horizontally and vertically. So I can keep that in the center pretty easily. I'm just going to basically going to select this text. And I can obviously change the size, do what I want to up here. Make it 104, move it again. If I want to rotate it slightly, I can. I don't want to do that at this point, but if you do want to rotate your logo, it's easy enough to do. And you've got a few options here, like you can choose it to be all capitals or not. You can center, left align. Your usual choices that you have with the text editor, they're right here. You change the color, maybe you want to make it green, that sort of thing. So you definitely got a fair few options here. You can even add a document color if you want by clicking here, and you get the full spectrum to play with then. So you can choose a darker green, or maybe if you want to go for a lime green, that sort of thing. We're going to keep it pretty basic. I'm just going to go with a green here, and we're going to stick with that. So I've got this green text here, Flayed. Now you've actually got a whole bunch of fonts here, like there's Google fonts. So you got a whole range, as you can see here, a whole different range of font styles you can choose from. You can choose to go sort of thin or thick. Give it a moment to load each font. You can choose a script. So you can actually really, if you take your time, you can really play with a lot of this and get some pretty cool results. Like I said, you've got, because it's based off Google Fonts, they've really got a nice variety there that you can work with. So if you take your time and sort of go through and find a font you like, it's quite easy to come up with a cool sort of look. So because I sort of prefer to keep it pretty blocky, I might go with, say, this Hitchcock font here. I've got a nice sort of fun looking font there that I can use for the website, and yeah, it's pretty easy. You just got to go through, play with the options until you find something you like. Now I do want this to sort of fill up more of the page, so I might make this a bit bigger, say 144, and move it up. Now, the cool thing here is because you have the freedom of movement, I can also create, going back to text, another little subheading right here. Because as I said before, this little fake name I've come up with is called Flayed Industries. So I can actually type in industries here. And once again, I'll just make that a bit wider. I can go through, choose a font I think will look good. In this particular instance, I think something plain is probably going to look the best. Something a little less plain. Maybe I can choose Antic. Maybe I can make it a bit bigger. You can see how easy it is to piece together a nice sort of design. So you got it, like I said, you've got plenty of options here to choose from, play around with. Oswald's a font that can look not too bad in some scenarios. So yeah, I basically just have a play until you find what you want. And this is just enough to get you started, to get you get your font, get your logo looking basically the way you want it to. Now, I'm just sort of spacing this out here. If this was a professional software, you can easily just sort of create spacing. And there might even be a few more options here. There you go, spacing. So you've got options there if you want to. Like if I go back and remove these spaces I just added, I'll just retype it. You see we've got spacing here. I can actually create more space between the letters. And if you had multiple lines, you can create line height, that sort of thing. So I do want to spread those out a little bit. I actually want to go a little bit lighter. So I'll choose the same font. I had a few variations here to choose from. So we'll say Monstrate Light. And maybe I'll make it 46, just slightly smaller, maybe 44. Move this up. You see we've got a very basic little logo here. So you can also make something semi-transparent if you want to. So, I've got this item here. I can make it transparent. There's all these options you can choose from that are good for just creating a nice basic sort of setup. So this is what I'm going to stick with. I'm going to say this is my logo, and obviously if you spend a bit more time on it, you can actually get in there and create something a little bit more substantial. But for now, this particular logo is going to be just fine for what we want to do. So I'm actually, this has already been saved, as you can see here. It automatically saves it to your account. So I'm actually going to download this so that I can use it elsewhere. Now, if I'm going to use it on my website and on some marketing materials, I do want to save a PNG. The PNG will have a transparent background. This looks like it's actually, yeah, you have to go pro in order to get the transparent background, but that's fine. Pro, I don't know what the pricing is, but it doesn't cost much to go pro with this software. So once again, we're just trying to get off the ground. We're trying to get started without spending too much money. So in this case, if we're not going to go PNG with a transparent background, we're just going to choose a JPEG, and we're just going to basically download that file. We'll prepare the design. As you can see here, we've got our flayed logo saved. So I'm just going to basically exit out of this for a second. And I'm going to actually start a new design. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to click the logo here to go back to my page. I'm going to create a social media. Now this is actually meant for image posts. So you're going to put a post up on your page, but I'm going to use it just for our ID photo. So I'm going to click on the image post. and you can actually upload images. So in this particular instance, I'm going to click on Uploads. You can see Upload Your Own Images here. And I'm going to just select this flayed logo we've created and saved. Open. You see now it'll just upload very quickly. And you'll watch the little progress bar here. When this finishes, that means that our file is uploaded. I can now click on it and import it onto our page. Now I can actually make this a bit larger. Center it again so that it takes up a bit more of the space. And you see here we've got a nice little logo that we can use on our Facebook page and go from there. So I'm actually going to download this one as well. So we're going to go across. This time we're going to use JPEG and we're going to download. And as always, they're giving you the upsell. They're trying to, they're always going to try and get you on a list or something of some sort. That's cool. If you're happy to do that, that's fine. Otherwise, it's okay to keep going and using the free version. So this is called Untitled Design, but this is basically our Facebook header image. One thing I'm going to do while I'm here very quickly, because what I'm going to do one of these videos in the future is basically show you how to create a basic website using WordPress. So we're actually going to save another logo we can use on WordPress. So once again, I'm going to go back to Canva. This time I'm going to use custom dimensions. So I'm going to say about 450. Judging by the general shape of this, I would say it's probably more than twice as wide as it is high. So I'll say 450 by 200 pixels. Design. I'm going to go across to Uploads. You see our logo is still there. So we're going to click on that. And we're going to try and fill as much of this space as possible. You can now see we have our logo ready to go just there. So I'm going to now download that one as well while we're here. Click on a JPEG and download. Okay, so we've created a very simple logo. We've created an image we can use on Facebook. We've also just created a small image we can use on our website. And the next step is we want to create a header image to use. So now this is something, I'll show you the basics of how to use it, but it really comes down to what you want to put on the graphic that you're going to use for your Facebook page header image. So I'm going to go back up to Canva here, and we're going to click on More. I'm going to scroll down, social media posts, and just keep going until we find what we need. Presentation, blogging, marketing materials, social media, and email headers. So you see you can create Facebook event covers here pretty easily. You've got a YouTube channel art you can create pretty easily. For now, we're going to choose Facebook cover. Click on that. And now we have our background here. Now, once again, like I said, you can actually start with a layout if you want to expand on it from there. But chances are, if you're looking to create something, you probably are thinking you want something a bit more unique. Now, what you can do also is you can search over 1 million images that you can use. Some will be free, some will be some will be premium. So if I'm saying this is like a health and fitness sort of niche, you get a few options here. A lot of these are pro, some of them are $1. Something like this is fine. So you can basically go through and find an image that you want to use quite easily for your website. But you might already have an image that you're happy to use. So once again, I'm going to go back to the uploads section. I've actually got an image set aside I got off a stock photography website. I've actually got a page on where you can find free and premium stock photography for your website. So I'll put a link to that post below. For now, we're going to click on Uploads. Upload your own images. And I've got this image set aside here. So I'm going to click on that and click Open. Once again, we're just waiting for this to finish uploading. Now it's finished, I click on it and it appears on the page. Now once again, I don't want this to be centered in the middle of a white screen, so I'm going to basically drag it out to what size I need, and it will retain proportion. You can't stretch it out of whack, which is a good thing because that can look pretty ordinary. So I'm just going to basically put this here. And once again, we can add elements like shapes, other photos, frames, and that sort of thing. We can draw if we want to. The illustrations, I should say, not draw. Like I said, I actually don't use this a lot because I'm a professional designer and I do have other software I use. But you can see here you've got lines. It's really worth having a play with this stuff because it's super easy to work out. But for now, once again, I'm just going to put some text in there. So once again, create a heading, some kind of tagline. Maybe I'll say looking after your health, or just something. It depends on what you're after. Now the black on this background, it makes it almost invisible. So I'm going to make the text white. It's really cool because basically it's what you see is what you get. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're editing at the time, it's quite easy to get it looking the way you want because you can actually see the changes as you're working. So once again, I'm going to go back and choose. It's always good to try and keep some consistency. So I've used Monstrat font in my own branding that we've just put together here. So I'm going to use that again, and then I'm going to change the size and knock it down to about 32. Put that down here, looking after your health. And yeah, we don't actually have the flayed logo here. If I try to upload it, it's going to have a white background. So I'm actually going to just add a little subheading. I'm going to type flayed again. I'm going to make it that sort of greeny color, although it's a little bit darker. In this instance, we're going to actually try and make it light so it stands out against the background. Yeah, we've got our little flayed text there. I'm going to find, just like that, I'm going to find this font that we used earlier. I probably went straight past it. I'm sort of making this up a bit as we go along, so just bear with me. Yeah, hitch cut. Once again, make that a bit bigger. So maybe I put this over here, reselect this, put it over there. You can play around, do what you want with it. Actually think that this might be better over here and this might be better over there in the corner. So once again, I'll add another little subheading for the industries part. I'll just choose standard for this just to speed things up a bit. We can change our line spacing again. We want to make that white. We're going to move it back up under here. And then we're going to make it smaller so it fits just nice and neatly underneath. So we've got our little Flayed Industries logo there. Looking after your health, a nice little tagline. So it's quite easy just to piece together what you want. And once you get used to how things work, when you click around a bit, it's really, really quite easy. Now once again, if I want to, I can even decrease the spacing a little bit if I want to get that really close together, which is a popular look with a lot of people. Now once again, add a little body of text. And I'm going to say, tips on health. Tips on health, nutrition, and fitness. So once again, this is the dummy I'm coming up with. There's not really any substance here. I'm going to try and go for that same green I've created earlier, just for a bit of consistency. And instead of a Remo, I may just go Monstrat again, just once again. And you can see how easy it is for us to come up with a pretty clean looking sort of design. Now, I can actually move these things around. Simply move that down again. You can move and place things anywhere you want with this tool. It's really quite handy. So it's just, you got to play around with it a little bit. Like I said, it's not professional software, but you can get pretty good results with it. And maybe in this instance, I might want to move this down a little bit because I know that the text isn't taking up too much. Maybe I want to add a bit of green up the top. So once again, I'll go to elements and I'll just simply go to shapes. Let's find a basic square. Move this across and just have a play around with it. We can play with the transparency if we want to. I can change the color, and you might not notice this because it's white, it's hiding up here in the corner. But I'm going to pick this color, choose that same green. I'm going to click off again. This little rotation, I might just rotate that for a cool little effect here. I can actually duplicate this if I want to, so I'm going to duplicate it. And I can actually do another design down here if I want to. So maybe I want to make that white and compare the two. So you can see here, like it's pretty easy to get something looking nice for your website. So I'm going to save this one now. So I'm going to download it. Once again, just a JPEG will be fine. Download there. So if you look at that, like it's been about 20 minutes. We've created a very basic logo. We've saved a Facebook image. We've saved an image we can use on our website. And now we've also created a nice little header for our Facebook page. So you can see how easy it is to use. You don't have to be a pro. If you just take some time and play around with it, you can easily get the look you want and use it to basically get your website, your Facebook page kick-started and go from there. So thanks for watching this video. If you want to know more about what we're doing, I'm going to be showing you how to create a Facebook page, how to build a website, and that sort of thing. There is a link below, but also if you want to subscribe, if you're watching this on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. There's a button below. Also, if you want to tick the bell icon, you'll get notified when new videos come out, and we can go from there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.